When are you guys going to get it that your churches have nothing to do with Scripture? Your churches have nothing to do with the Bible. You have taken a covenant. You made a covenant with an organization, and the main reason why you took that oath or covenant with them was because they were responsible for bringing down the Israelites. You don't go to these churches because they are godly or because they're following the Most High, because they're going to lead you to heaven after you die. You follow them because you were able to receive the blessings of the Israelites. And that is it. Yesterday, the Pope made his big declaration about same-sex marriages. And I could care less what they do, because they have bigger problems than this. They're just showing you that, they're not about the Scriptures. It's an organization. It is a universal organization. It is about bringing people together and doing what is universally accepted. That's it. So, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. That's what they've done this whole time. It's never been about love, loving thy neighbor, being equal. I said they had the doctrine of discovery, which pretty much said if you were not part of their religion, you weren't even human. They could rape, rob, murder, steal, do whatever they want to do, okay? And there are going to be no repercussions for any of these kinds of things. This is the organization you follow. And they tell you this in other books. I'm going to show you a quick passage here from the book of Mormon, and it shows you why the whole world follows the church. And they don't follow the church because there's some godly organization, because they follow the Bibles. Actually, one guy was talking about him. He goes, because he was like, well, the church is not the Pope. The Catholic Church is not the bishop. It's not the cardinals. It's the people. See, this is what you guys have to do. When you have, them making these kinds of decisions, and people might not necessarily agree with it, all of a sudden then the Pope doesn't matter. What he says doesn't matter. What the bishop says doesn't matter. And the people of the church, well, you guys are in a lot of trouble already if the Pope and the cardinals and bishops are your leaders. But you're even more trouble if you're going to say that the church isn't those people, but it's the people. Because the people are totally oblivious. They're totally blind. They don't know anything about their church. If you try to have a conversation with someone, some church parishioner or layman or whatever else that goes to your churches, they are not even light work, because they have no understanding at all about their Scriptures, about their history, because their church has hidden all of that. But check this out. This is a clip. It's a part of 1 Nephi 13. I'm going to start at 6, okay? Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 13. And it came to pass that I beheld this great and abominable church, and I saw the devil, that he was the founder of it. And I saw gold and silver and silks and scarlets and fine twined linen, and all manner of precious clothing. And I saw many harlots. Those are all your different denominations. And the angel spake unto me, saying, behold, the gold and the silver and the silks and the scarlets and the fine twined linen and the precious clothing and the harlots are the desires of this great and abominable church. They're all about that money. And also for the praise of the world do they destroy the saints of God, okay, and bring them down into captivity. That is your church right there. That is verse 9. And also for the praise of the world do they destroy the saints of God and bring them down into captivity. That is why you follow the church. It's not because they follow the Scriptures or whatever else, because they've taken down the Israelites. They put us into captivity. That's what doctrine of discovery was all about. Now, see, they also have people have made covenants with these people and they give them fake identities and things like that. And people get money. They get their casinos, the natives and all, the supposed natives or whatever else. They get all of these perks because they have made an allegiance with the church and with this Babylonian society. So see, now that we've been awakened, most of them are really quiet, and they really should be, because once they try to open their mouths, the Most High is just smashing them left and right. So I'm going to show you this quick clip to showing you that this is why your leaders don't say anything about this truth. They don't say anything about us not being the real aboriginals or real original people, because as soon as you open that can of worms, the Most High is going to expose you, like he just exposed this cat right now. You're going to check out. Check this out.
Want to remind you that hey brother, just want to remind you that these are pretendians.
Hey brother, I just want to remind you that I just want to remind you that if you go to Google and type the word pretendians and click the images, you can clearly see who the pretendians is, right? So if you keep looking, you will see that there is no so-called black people up here being pretendians. But if you look closely, it's people that looks just like.
But see, that dude just got straight clowned. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys understand, like, this is what happens when you guys make these covenants, these organizations. When we were asleep, all this stuff worked. All of your lies worked and everything else. I said, but you think that you are following the government, you think you're following the churches, you think that there's somehow these godless organizations. All they've been set up to do was to keep us from knowing who we are. That is all that they are. They've all been set up to keep us in a daze. That daze is now over with. So now every time you try to even make an attempt to prove that we're not the people or whatever else, the Most High is just smashing you every single time. So a lot of you guys go to these churches thinking that you're godly and that you're going to heaven, you're going to get raptured away and things like that. Said, but your arguments and your religion does not stand up to any scrutiny whatsoever. So I'm going to show you guys another quick clip because it's pretty funny. These guys are talking about what the Pope did yesterday. He's like, hey, Pope, you got bigger problems to worry about than this right here. I mean, you guys have a whole history of the Inquisition. You guys are going to have to pay for all these things that were done to our people, but you're worrying about, who's marrying who at this point. And at this point, you got other debts to pay. But check out this clip.
Francis approves blessing for same-sex couples that must not resemble marriage. It means the couples need to understand they are not being blessed as husband and wife, or husband and husband, or wife and wife. The letter that the Pope signed reiterates marriage is between a man and a woman. I think the Catholic Church should focus on other things, like all the priests that keeps on diddling kids, how to report them to the police and not hide them. Pope Francis